me tell you, folks, pirating careers were oftentimes very, very short-lived. If a pirate around the 16 and 1700s lasted a year, that was said to be a long time. Any more than that, let me tell you, you were just plain lucky. Captain William Fly would last just about 1 year before he was taken, captured, and executed for his crimes of piracy. Now, old Fly was a random member of a crew for a ship called the Elizabeth. Now, the captain of the Elizabeth was said to be a very cruel and inhospitable man. And it was said that old Fly was actually the captain's whipping boy. If he needed someone to take his aggression out, he would take old Fly, shackle him up to the mast of the ship, and he would beat him and whip him on a regular basis. Until, during one beating, Fly managed to get free, and he went and he killed the captain right there. And the whole crew looked on in astonishment. And old Fly got the respect that he felt he rightfully deserved. Now the Elizabeth's crew decide that they want to sail this ship under a flag of piracy now. And they vote William Fly to be the new captain. And he decides right there to accept their offer. But he also decides that the Elizabeth is not a good name for a pirate ship, so the ship is rechristened as Fane's Revenge. And he attacked 5 ships before being brought to court for his crimes of piracy. And he himself was found guilty, and they executed him by the noose. Now, hangings for pirates in this time period were a lot like what you folks would go to see as live theater today, especially outdoor theater. People would arrive in droves to see a hanging. They'd bring a picnic lunch, lay a blanket out, eat their lunch. Young lovers would profess their love before the condemned man. Young children would oftentimes tag their parents, "Oh, mother, father, when do we get to see the hanging of the pirate?" Very soon. Eat your vegetables if you want to watch the hanging of the pirate. So maybe the next time you want your kids to eat their vegetables, promise them they can go see a hanging. So, Fly knew this, but he also knew he could not disappoint his audience. So Fly comes out, and the audience is booing and hissing him. And he jumps up, pulls away from the guards guarding him, jumps up on the gallows. And he curses the audience, turns to the executioner, curses him. And then he takes the rope, fastens it around his own neck, and then he pulls the lever to a standing ovation. Now, Now, if Fly's performance wasn't good enough, his encore was even better, mates. Because for his encore, they cut his body down, dipped him in tar and feathered him to preserve him. And they took him and tied him back up, but only off of one of the islands in Boston called Nix's Mate. And they had him facing out towards the ocean. And his body would decay to nothing but bones, but the whole time until it decayed, it would sit there, just looking blankly out at the open sea. This was very common for pirates. It was known as gibbeting. Now, they would often do this because they would try to warn other seafarers of what would happen if you even thought of trying to turn to piracy. Aye. Well, you've probably